Hey everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing the Google Pixel 4a. I did receive this phone as a gift from Google, but any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this product and you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in my video description below. You can see how it comes packaged to you right here in a very nice and simple retail box. Everything looks great. Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and look at the package contents. Here are all the package contents. First up, we have your safety and warranty information, followed by your quick start guide and your SIM removal tool with instructions. Then we have a USB Type-C adapter to make transferring your files and information from your old device to your new Pixel phone very simple and straightforward. We also have an 18-watt wall charger for it, USB Type-C, with a USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable. And then last but not least, we have the Pixel 4a phone right here. Let's go ahead, let's look at that in more detail. So here's a look at the front of the Google Pixel 4a with our 5.8-inch OLED display. It's 1080 by 2340 pixels, featuring 443 ppi. Take note, in the top left-hand corner, we have a cutout in the display for our front-facing 8-megapixel camera that can record up to 1080p video at 30 frames per second. Here's a look at the bottom. You can see our stereo speakers and our USB Type-C port. Then we flip it around to the top. We have our headphone jack. The right side, we have our power button and our volume up and down button. The left-hand side, we have our SIM tray. Then on the back side, we have our Google logo, our fingerprint sensor, and our camera module. We have a 12.2 megapixel rear camera that has autofocus with dual pixel phase detection. This can record up to 4K 30 frames per second, 1080p up to 120 frames per second, and 720p up to 240 frames per second. We have a nice large built-in battery, 3,140 milliamp hours, 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, and we have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 730 processor all tucked in to this device with a black plastic back, and don't forget about that beautiful OLED display. Now, before we power it up, let's go ahead, let's get a SIM card installed. So take the included tool, gently push it in place to pop out the tray, and you can see we actually already have a SIM card installed. It came with a Google Fi SIM already installed in the phone. So at this stage, go ahead, swap it out with your current carrier. Or if you use Google Fi or want to sign up, just go ahead, stick it back in and complete activation. Also, if you're interested in Google Fi, I've reviewed that phone service on my channel in a previous video, so go ahead and check it out. I currently use Google Fi as my main phone plan, and I've been very happy with it for the last couple of years. Also, along those notes, I'm going to go ahead, we're actually going to install a visible SIM. So I really like the visible phone plans as well. They're super affordable, especially if you want to have unlimited data and mobile hotspots. I've reviewed a lot of visible devices and the visible service on my channel in previous videos, so go ahead and check that out. That's the SIM we're going to use for this video and review. So I'm going to go ahead, I have it installed back in the tray. Now we just have to gently push everything back in and we're ready to boot up our device. So here we go, we have the phone powered on and booted up. Setup was a breeze, very simple and straightforward with all the prompts that Google walks you through. Here's what it looks like, guys. Obviously, you can change the background and then you can add a bunch of apps. I went ahead, I downloaded the 6 apps that you see right here that we'll be using in this review. But want to show you guys what it looks like. Very nice. The first thing I noticed from my 3A to the 4A is the fact that I don't have the squeeze for assistant anymore. So keep that in mind if you like to use that feature. It's no longer on the Pixel phones, at least with the 4A. But very responsive. I love the screen. The screen is beautiful. The hole punch doesn't bother me. It blends right in with the taskbar. So everything is really nice and I'm very happy so far. I've been using the Pixel phones since the original Pixel. I had the Pixel 2. Now I have the Pixel 3a, which is my daily driver, but I'll soon be switching to the 4a. So very happy. Love how responsive it is. Here's probably the most used feature I use with this phone is I just love having the news at my fingertips to browse and read, curated content to what I'm interested in. Sometimes Google gets that wrong, but other times they hit it spot on. with their recommendations for news articles. So I love having that right there at my fingertips. Let's go ahead. We can pull down the taskbar right here. You can see all the different options that we have. Very standard Android. Love the stock Android experience right here. It's phenomenal. Then we can pull it up too. You can see our apps. So a lot of Google apps and then a couple apps that I went ahead and installed. No bloatware on here. So very nice. Again, very responsive. I'm impressed so far. Everything looks good. So if we go ahead, we can pull this back up. Let's bring up our settings. We can look at a couple different options right here. So you can see all the menu items we have. Let's go into battery. First up, you can see we have adaptive battery. We can turn that on or off. It can help extend the battery life based on your phone use and the apps that you typically use. So keep that in mind right there. Really nice that we have that feature. Obviously, you can turn the battery percentage on or off. It does come charged out of the box. Mine was not fully charged. That may vary depending on whatever they feel like that day, I guess, in the factory. Then we can look at our storage right here too. So we have 128 gigabytes of built-in storage. I downloaded one game that was 3 gigabytes. So keep that in mind. We should actually have even more free space. But basically out of the box, you'll have over 100 gigabytes of free space. You can see the breakdown right here. 12 gigs for the system, 1 gig for files, 3.8 gigs for other apps. Some of that is stuff I downloaded as well too. So again, keep that in mind. You'll have over 100 gigs, maybe closer to 110 plus gigabytes of usable space right out of the box, which is really nice, guys. Great that they come with 128 gigabytes standard now. So there's our storage. Then we can look and learn more about the phone if we want, and we can see the system that we have. Currently, guys, we're running Android 10. So comes with Android 10 right out of the box. And again, it's a Pixel phone, so we get the truly pure Android experience right here. Really happy with it, guys. It's so nice not to have any bloatware or any other, UI or interfaces kind of masked over what Android should truly be. Now let's go ahead, let's look at some benchmarks. So here we go, guys. You can see our benchmark results right here. We got a score of 261583. We defeated 22% of users. First up, you can see our CPU right here. So defeated 28% of users and the breakdown. Now we can look at our GPU, defeated 22% of users in the test results. Then we have our memory right here, defeated 37% of users in the results. And then we have our UX, defeated 29% of users and the results right there. So now, just for fun, here's my Google Pixel 3a. So you can see the differences in the results with the same test right there. And obviously on the Pixel 3a, I'm now running out of space with the 64 gigabytes of built-in storage as opposed to the 128 gigabytes of built-in storage for the Pixel 4a. Now you're looking at the results of our visible mobile network speed test. So you can see the results that we get, our download, our upload, and our ping. Obviously that's going to be network and area dependent, not so much Pixel 4a dependent, but you can see it's going to have no issues handling all of the most popular and common apps available today for you to consume and browse media with online. Now, just for fun, let's go ahead, let's test it now over our home Wi-Fi network so you can see in real time what that looks like. So you can see the speeds that we're getting right here. And we're going to get some fantastic scores as well too from the app. Awesome is the best rating that you can get. So you can see we currently locked in our download right now. Our ping and upload is finishing up right this second right there. So there's the results over our Wi-Fi network right here. Same thing, all the most popular apps will work great. This will vary depending on your internet service provider and your Wi-Fi router as well. But you can see the results that we're getting in real time right here with the Pixel 4a and my home Wi-Fi network. Now let's check out popular social apps like Instagram. You can see how fast it loads right there. No issues at all. Very responsive to touch. This is a nice display. Definitely a nice upgrade from the Pixel 3a. Just from the display itself with the size and how much thinner the bezels are at the top and bottom of this phone. Really nice that they put the camera over in the top left-hand corner to hide it with the taskbar so we can just enjoy more content and media on the screen. and less bezels. That's definitely what I prefer. Love the more borderless display look and feel of this phone from the previous versions of Pixel phones. But yeah, you guys can see it's working just fine. No issues there to browse photos, watch videos, stories, that sort of thing. Now let's go ahead, let's pull up YouTube. So you can see here's YouTube. It's gonna load pretty quick for us. Not bad right there. Hey, what do you know? There's a Digital David video right there. So cool. Let's go ahead, let's look at it. Check it out. That's a previous video that I did on my channel, but no issues at all. Easy to browse. Hey, another one. And it's a Google Pixel 4a. Who would have thought? So be sure to watch that video if you haven't already. But there it is, pretty cool. Right there, guys. Very easy, responsive. No issues at all with it. Everything works great. Now let's try out some games. All right, so you guys can see we have Asphalt 9 loaded right now on the Pixel 4a. Everything looks great, guys. Look at how good everything looks. Really impressive. Really nice. Very fast and responsive. So you can see for a couple more seconds how everything looks on the 4a. Very nice though. Display's doing great. Phone's not having any issues. It's not getting too warm. So hopefully that's a good sample for you guys to see the gaming quality. No issues at all with Asphalt 9. No lagging, stuttering, staggering, or anything else. Very clear and crisp gameplay. Really quick, I wanted to show you guys how to turn on one of my favorite Pixel features. This is not specific to just the Pixel 4a. It's the Now Playing feature. So go ahead, pull up your settings, select the gear icon, go to Sound. Then it's the second option up from the bottom, Now Playing. There you go. Here's where you can access all of those settings. You can show it on the lock screen, notifications, and view your Now Playing history, which is really cool. Keep in mind, if you're worried about privacy, Now Playing never sends audio or background conversations to Google, and you can learn more about the privacy and protections that they offer you if you select Learn More right there. So let's pull up photos. We can see it right there. Here's the first photo I took, guys. That's my aloe vera plant. So you can see this is just regular unedited photos snapped straight from this phone. There's my succulent. So no special modes or anything. Just taking some pictures for you guys of all my succulents. Now you can see here's portrait mode enabled. So you can see the detail that we get. This camera's spectacular, guys. My succulents look fantastic too. So love seeing the camera quality right here. All of these are in portrait mode. So good, guys. The quality is insane. Then here's my dog, Doug, just a regular photo from that rear-facing camera. Then we have a portrait mode pic. Look at him. So good. That portrait mode is fantastic, guys. The camera is top notch. You just can't beat it at any other phone at this price point. Here's a video. We'll look at the videos in a minute. Here's a front-facing selfie, no portrait mode. Here's another one again. So you can see how good those photos are, guys. They've been unedited in any way. Here's another selfie from the front-facing camera. This time we have portrait mode enabled so you can see how good it looks. Here's another one, portrait mode. Look at how good of a job it does. Fantastic camera. Here's a picture I took of my Pixel 3a. I love the color, the purplish color. So definitely my favorite phone of all time. And then here's another portrait selfie I took in my studio. Then we have a night photo right here, guys. So I took a couple photos so you guys could see what it's like in the dark. So here's a regular photo with night mode enabled. Here's one without night mode. Here's the same photo with night mode. So you can see huge difference right there. Then we have another one of the sky. So no night mode right here. Same photo with night mode. So it definitely makes a huge difference, guys. Here's another photo, no night mode. Here's a photo with night mode. Look at that, guys. Same picture. Drastic difference in the dark and low light environments. So cool. Can't stress that enough. Here's a regular photo again, no night mode, which actually isn't that bad with those street lights there. Here it is with night mode. Look at the detail and quality. Fantastic. It does take a couple of seconds to process the night mode pictures. You got to hold the phone steady. But look at the results, guys. I didn't edit that in any way. That's just the camera and the phone processing that image with their night mode. So huge difference. Really a cool feature to have. And look at the quality. I think it looks really good. So definitely helps to have some light in the picture when you're doing a night mode shot. But even just the horizon and the sky at night, you can see no night mode and night mode. Even that's really cool. You can see some details in the sky and the horizon right there with the tree line. So really impressive, guys. Definitely makes a big difference not having it versus having it right there. So this phone definitely lives up to the hype with the camera that it has. Pixel continues to innovate and push the boundaries of just one camera on the back of their phones, and it's really impressive. Now let's look at some video. Here's a raw 4K video sample of my dog, Doug, right here, so you can see him enjoying his time outside on the back deck. We're gonna walk around for a second. We'll look at my succulents too. So you guys can get a feel for the mic quality. This is the raw mic audio. And I'm not even holding this with a tripod or any stabilizer. So you'll be able to see what it's like just holding it in your hands and walking around. 4K, 30 frames per second for this video with raw mic audio. Now we're taking that same 4K 30 frames per second video again in portrait mode. So instead of holding the phone for landscape, we now have it in portrait. There's my dog, Doug. He's enjoying his time outside. And we'll go back and look at my succulents again. This is the raw mic audio. And this is unedited video, 4K, 30 frames per second. Checking out my awesome succulents. All right, so here's your raw sample video and audio from the front-facing selfie camera. Right here, you can see my succulents behind me over there, and my dog Doug sunning right there, enjoying his time outdoors. So here's the front-facing camera, raw video and audio on the Google Pixel 4a. Now I'm recording that same video again, but now we have it in portrait mode with the front-facing selfie cam. So there's my succulents. And there's my dog, Doug. So this is what it looks like from the front-facing camera in portrait mode if you want to take and capture some video. So really nice, beautiful, beautiful day here. Look at that lighting. Look at that camera. How cool is that for video? Pretty sweet, right? Now we're going to take a look at text messaging and the mic phone quality we get with the Pixel 4a. So first up, let's go ahead. Let's send some text. So I'm sending text from the Pixel 4a on the visible network to an iPhone SE 2020. So I just sent a text message. It just arrived on the iPhone. Let's message back. We're going to send an emoji back. And you can see we just got it right here. We can send our own emojis if we want. So very fast, super responsive. Now we can go ahead. Let's send a picture. So let's swap cameras. There we go. So let's send that photo along. Should take a couple of seconds. And while that's going on, let's go ahead. Let's do the same thing right here. We'll do a thumbs down since it's an iPhone and we're doing a Pixel 4a video. But we're going to send that image back to the 4a. So you can see we're receiving one and we just sent one. So there we go. There it is, guys. You can see the 4a photo right there. In the iPhone SE 2020 photo right there, that's going to arrive on our Pixel phone right now. So no issues there. Very easy to use texting. We have video options depending on what app you're using and if it's, another Android device, that sort of thing. And then obviously we can quickly call right there. We can view more information, details, delete, archive, search. Love the search functionality for messages. Then we have the plus option right here. So you can see we can add GIFs, favorites, send location, Google Assistant for restaurants, movies, weather, Google Pay to send or request, We can also send a little voice memo. We could share a contact or attach a file. So we have a lot of options with the default messaging app for the Pixel 4a. I love this app. It's great. So everything works very smoothly. Just for fun, you want to send a GIF? Let's send a GIF. So here we go. Here's a GIF we can send. And you can see it's going to send. It might take a minute to make it to the iPhone, but there, it just sent and we just received it. So everything works great. Now let's go ahead. Let's try out the call quality.
Hey guys, this is your Google Pixel 4a raw mic audio test. You guys can hear exactly how it sounds if you want to make a phone call. We're using the Visibles network. That's the SIM card that we currently have installed. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to move the phone further away from my ear. So now we have the phone way out here. We're going to bring it all the way around in front of us. You guys can hear how the microphone sounds. We're going to go ahead. We're going to switch hands. We're going to bring it all the way back here as well too. We're going to put it up to our left ear and keep talking as well. We're going to snap and try to make a little bit of background noise too to see how the microphones do to handle some of those background noises that can be a little bit distracting. Then we're going to have it all the way out here again. Put it on speakerphone too, so we're talking into it using speakerphone right now. So this is your raw mic audio test for the Google Pixel 4a.
So when you're making or taking phone calls, there's also a great built-in call screening feature. So let's go ahead, let's try that out right now. We're gonna call the Pixel 4a from my iPhone right here. So we're calling it. Once you see the incoming call, we can select screen call and listen to how everything works. It's really cool.
Hi, the person you've reached is using a screening service from Google and will get a transcript of this call. Go ahead and say why you're calling.
So there you go. You can see how the call screening works. It's really cool. We also have some more options from Google Assistant if we need to have them tell us more information. If it's urgent, I can't understand, call me back, I'll call you back, or I'll message you. You have other prompts you can select and use if you want. So really a neat feature that you'll find very handy as you make and take phone calls, and helps you block out some potential spam calls as well. In conclusion, my thoughts on the Pixel 4a are as follows. Overall, it's a great phone at a very competitive price point. Google does us right with the hardware. So they give us a really fantastic camera, which is probably the most hyped feature about this phone. And they give us 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigabytes of built-in storage, which is awesome. They include the headphone jack, USB Type-C, so they have us covered. You might be able to knock a couple points off for the phone with the processor that they chose, but if you ask me, the everyday person isn't going to care. They're not going to notice, and honestly, it's a great experience using this phone. Thanks to their incredible software, it's just a fantastic phone to use, guys. There's nothing more to say than it's an awesome phone, which is why I've stuck with Pixels since the original one. It's just, you can't beat the user experience if you ask me my own personal opinion. Other than that though, we can talk about the battery for a second. I think the battery's just fine. I'm optimistic over time it's gonna be better than my iPhone SE 2020, but I wouldn't say it's incredible. Definitely enough to get you through a day, no issues, anything like that. And they do offer you quick charging, so that is definitely a nice alternative to have. If you do have to charge it really quick, you can get some juice before you head out. Other than that though, guys, here's what I'd like to see in the future from this phone. One is wireless charging. If they would have put wireless charging in this phone and could come out with, you know, a similar price, maybe 10, 20, 30, 40, I don't know, 50 bucks more at the most, this would just crush all the competition if you ask me. So I really wish they had wireless charging in this device. And the second feature I really want to see is a wide angle camera. They have this huge module here, but they only have one camera in there. So why have this massive module without putting in our wide angle camera? Please and thank you. I want that in the future. Or if you're not going to include it, just make this module go away and put the one camera lens in there like the 3A. That would be welcomed as well from a design standpoint, because I'm just not the biggest fan of the modules right there. But a wide angle lens would be awesome, and the ability for wireless charging would make this phone incredible, and I'd pass out and it would just be the best thing in the whole wide world if you ask me. So Google, please and thank you in the future. Please add that to your, XA devices, your 5A, 6A, whatever going forward. That would be fantastic. But yes, great phone, competitive price point, decent hardware, great software experience, and you'd be really happy. So now you might be wondering, well, should I upgrade? Great question. If you're coming from the original Pixel or Pixel 2, yeah, go ahead, upgrade, you'll be really happy. If you're coming from the 3 and beyond, maybe the 3 you might want to upgrade, maybe the 3A, but I have a 3A and I'd say I probably wouldn't upgrade myself, especially because my phone doesn't have a cracked screen. The battery's still going strong. I've had no issues with it, so I don't have a reason to upgrade with this device. But I want to say if your battery's dying, your screen's cracked, something's not working, well then this is a great Pixel phone to upgrade to get the latest from Google at a very competitive price point. It's just so much more affordable than the Pixel 4. And I think it's a much better value than that phone, even though it is missing some of the features that I want to see, like wireless charging. But you get what you pay for, and this is a great deal at an incredible price. Well, that concludes our video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget the product link will be in our video description below. Please go ahead, check it out, and do your shopping from there. Any purchase made through that link helps support our channel at no additional cost to you. So we're really grateful and thankful for all of your support. While you're at it, can you go ahead and hit that like button for us? And subscribe to our channel. We have new content coming out daily, and we don't want you to miss anything. Please go ahead and give us a follow online and make it a clean sweep. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, Discord. You can message us on WeChat, check out our website, and join our free newsletter. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget new content daily, and we can't wait to see you in our next video.